Okay, so we're going to go over of games that I played in the last week. We're going to use the game review here to see how badly and how well I did. And we'll just go from there. So I'm playing as black in this game, in this match. This is actually one of the first matches that I played when I count. I'm playing as the black pieces. Here my opponent starts out with e4, answer with the Scandinavian defense. My opponent then goes knight to c3, attacking the pawn, and I just push it forward here, just trying to take as much space as I can. That at least was my thought process there. He moves in with his knight, and I develop my own, attacking both the pawn and his knight. He decides to take, I take back, opening g-file, ready to put my rook there. He develops his other knight, and then I just put my there. He attacks the pawn, and I just go forward once again, trying to take as much space as I can, be as annoying as I can there. He responds with g3, probably trying to put the bishop there. I go bishop to g4, pinning the knight to the queen, and he responds quickly with that pawn move. I believe at this point I took. Yes, I did take here, which the computer doesn't quite like the idea. If I remember correctly, I didn't like the idea of going back. That can get you kind of stuck here. I didn't like that idea personally. Decided just to take, which now looking at the game, viewing the game before I started this recording, that is not really the best move in that situation. If I had to play this position again, I'll probably bring the bishop back this way instead of going. But anyway, that's what I played in the match. Here my opponent just takes, which is the best, obviously. Attacking this pawn here, and I'm just not going to keep that pawn, obviously. After this, I just take some control of the center once again. My opponent takes the pawn. That's just his for the taking, really. I develop my knight, also blocking here any checks. Here he also pushes forward with his g-pawn. And here I played a3, a6 I mean, looking just to block any type of pinning that my opponent might try in the future. He moves in with his b-pawn. I develop my bishop here. Really not any, I don't think I had any better spot to put it in, but I just tried to develop it, in a better place, maybe looking to something like this, maybe. Not, I don't remember quite well what the thought process was by putting the bishop there, probably just a develop. My opponent here goes with his bishop to a3, kind of blocking his bishop in a little cell. Here I develop my queen, just putting in an active spot, looking at this bishop, looking at this pawn, trying to go for something here. My opponent goes for castles, I castle as well, putting my rook in that file as well, looking to start some trouble down the center. Here my opponent develops with his rook, putting it on the file. Here it says that it leaves the bishop vulnerable to being captured. Imagine this is probably one of not quite sure. Here I decided to just push my a pawn. I'm trying to remember what thought process was here. I was probably thinking just something like this. I think I know the idea was if my opponent take out this bishop, something like that. That was the thought process of that move. Here my opponent does not take. He pushes his rook forward, probably also thinking about what I was thinking, trying to do that type. And here it took a couple of seconds to look at this position and couldn't really find any better move than, you know, the knight here right on the center, or um, trying to get a fork here between the rook and the queen, which it's not the best move. The computer does say it's the miss. I think I went through, tried to calculate the exchanges here, and I just thought that putting my queen right here in the middle would have, you know, was a good move. Trying to control these files, but it's just not, doesn't seem like to be the correct move. My opponent here, I think, just blundered. Yeah, it pushed his queen back, just opening that rook for me, which I just took. He took back with the queen, and I just took his bishop right in the middle, which was why, you know, I think I just came out winning in this exchange. It does say that. I think that was quite a good exchange for me. Now we're reaching kind of the end of the game. He takes that 3 pawn there, which I didn't really, you know, care too much about. And here we have a situation where he's going to take my rook, my bishop, excuse me. And here my thought process was, well, I didn't want to take my rooks out of these files, keep them looking down, straight down the barrel. So I just thought, you know, I'm gonna take here. I'm gonna take on d4, and if you take my bishop, I'm gonna take yours. My opponent does give me a check first, then he takes, and then I take. Then here just blunders this move. I think it's an inaccuracy, but it does lose the game. I just quickly take with my rook, give a check. He moves out, and I take his rook with queen, and here I'm just winning. I'm threatening mate in one, and my goes for the rook here. I go get out of the way and just checkmate him. So this was actually, I enjoyed this game quite a lot. It was one of the first games that I played, and I thought it was, you know, it was good. There was a couple of things here that I obviously could have done better. I believe my accuracy was around 50%, 64%, 64. So I, you know, did a couple of misses, a couple of inaccuracies. But I think I ended up playing like a good game. I think both of us played quite a good game for the level that we were at the time. I just thought this was from the about 40 games that I played, this is stands out for me. It's like the opening section. I think interesting, pushing off the pawn on, you know, right into the enemy territory and stuff like that. I thought this was an interesting game to show you. So yeah, so we're going to jump to a game that I played. I'm going to show you this one and another one. Both of them are losses for me, which I think it's important to show because they'll show you where I'm worse at. But anyway, in this game, I'm playing as the white pieces. I start with e4. My opponent answers with e5, and I'm just trying to go for Rui Lopez for a Spanish game, which is an opening that I'm comfortable with. And I do get it, I think. Yeah, I do get to play the Spanish. I feel quite comfortable with this opening. I think I know a couple of variations and a couple of, so I'm quite comfortable playing with playing this game. Excuse me. Whoops. Back. So we were here. Here my opponent just develops his knight, castle. So far so good. All both moves. Here my opponent goes and tries to kick out my bishop. I just go back, nice and easy. And here I just develop the c3, the c pawn, c3, and I'm just looking to push that d pawn forward, and, you know, be a menace in the center. My opponent decides to take, and here I just push forward, just trying to protect space in the center and stuff like that. My opponent here takes with the pawn, I take back, and he decides to take with the bishop. At this point here, I take with the knight, he takes with the knight, and I take with the queen. It's, developing the queen, taking space, threatening to take this and take that. So life is good. And this was a nice opening for me. I'm just winning. So it looks good. E falls back with the knight, trying to evade the queen. Here I develop with the bishop, that now thinking about it's really not a good move. Should play something like rook to e1 or queen, not queen, rook to e1, just, trying to get something there, preventing the opponent's king from castling. This was a really bad move. Honestly, I didn't remember that I played that, but anyway. E castles, I could have prevented that with a simple move, but anyway. I just develop, bringing up my knight. And here it tries to kick out my bishop. I just go back to c2, taking hold of this diagonal here. So life is good. I'm looking good. My bishops are looking down this side, looking to put my rooks on the center. So it's good. This game is actually going quite well. No question about it. Here I take, he takes back, and here I just completely blunder my queen. In one move, all the work that I did in the opening and in this middle game goes out the window with one simple move. Queen to h4, just opening that queen for the taking, which my opponent obviously takes. Here I just said I'm annoyed, but I just continue playing. I put my rook on the e file, looking down that open file, and I'm looking to try and regain a little bit of composure, try to win the game. Here is looking to get a check. I just move my knight to the center, blocking the line of sight of that bishop. He takes. Here I take with the bishop back, and here my opponent plays a bad move, which is knight to f6, and here I just take that free rook, and I'm looking down that file. Actually, now I'm looking down that file. I think I did see that open file, and I did see the check happening here, although that knight is covering that. But here my opponent blunders the knight. And here I took with the bishop when I should have taken with the, and that's when I go back to losing this game, which I was winning just a little bit ago. I blunder here. He pushes his pawn forward, and for some reason I just completely blundered and took that, which is absolutely awful. And takes. I tried to give a check here, but there's nothing there. The king can move there. And here I just don't know what to do. Just don't know what to do. I'm trying to go for the weak spots there, but there's just check here. There's checkmate coming, and I'm losing. Which my opponents do that, and with the bishop, there's no avoiding this mate, and I lose the game. So yeah, that was the game. This was quite a shitty game, to be honest. It's quite sad to look back at this game, because I think I played a really good opening. Played the book moves, got myself in a strong position right out the get-go. The right moves, I was getting a nice position, control of the center, developing pieces, and then I just threw everything away with this absolutely horrendous move, which is queen h4. And that just lost me the game. It lost me the game. I did manage to come back before the end, but I just played bad in the end, unfortunately. So yeah, that's quite sad, but anyway. Let's go to another game. Here it's another game that I lost. I have really bad accuracy in this game, even though I was pretty much winning the whole game. But oh well. So anyway, let's start this game. I think I played the Scandinavian. It's not a, it's not an opening that I'm quite comfortable with, but I do play it sometimes. Here, once again, just push my pawn forward, trying to take space. I take I protect the pawn there in the center. Pawn develops with develop just tries to reinforce that e pawn. Here, I develop my knight, which is a bad move, but I just wouldn't see. In game during that match, I doubt that I would see c6 as a good move, to be honest. Because this knight is actually trapped in here. It can go anywhere really without getting taken. So that would have been the perfect move, which I did not play, unfortunately. My opponent does not take on f6, giving me a moment to take it on d5. He takes back with pawn, and I just develop my queen there, trying to get as much space in the center as I can down many diagonals. And from here, my opponent bishop. I develop my knight. He castles the other bishop, and castle. Okay, so this is the position that we get. My opponent's trying to look to put his bishop there on b2. And I think I have a good position here. Good position in the opening. I got center control. This knight is this, the queen is that, and I got space to move. I look good, right? I feel like I look good. This opening, this bishop can move, but it's not in the best positions and anything. And I don't think my opponent has much development, and it has really little space in the center. So I think that I'm pretty good out of the open. So we go into the middle game. He puts the bishop there on b2. And here I just played this move, e6, which is a weird move that now looking back, I don't know why I played that. I think the logic behind it was to put the rook here on e8, and looking down the center, but I could have played that and then developed to a better spot, maybe here, looking down that diagonal, something like that. So I'm not quite sure why I played that move. Anyway, my opponent here pushes on with c4, kicking out my queen. Here I go back this way, probably looking to go somewhere. Future. Here targets the rook with bishop to 3. I just take the rook out of the way, looking down the center line, which is something that I like. Pushing forward, I develop the other bishop and try to look to put this rook here as well. I like to put the rooks right down the middle, looking down the middle, so that I can then, in the future, they might be useful. He pushes forward with his b pawn, kicking out the knight. Here I go to this side. Not quite sure why, quite sure what that was here, to be honest. Even though I'm probably going back would have been a better move, trying to rotate the knight to this position here, maybe. My opponent here goes queen to a4, trying to hit the knight. I just defended with e6, which doesn't seem to be quite a good move for the computer. My opponent puts his other rook on the e file as well, and I just block out the structure here. You're not getting in any way, shape, or form. And that's really actually I have quite a good pawn structure here. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Anyway, we just continue. My opponent goes back with its knight, and I put the rook on that file, d file, which is a bad move because once this knight moves, that pawn is there's really no way you're going to defend it. Yeah, I mean you can put that there. That's just I don't like that move. Now that I look back at it, My pawn goes forward with the knight, hitting my bishop, preventing it from going anywhere really. Here I go, actually I take there first, takes back. Not sure what that exchange. I have no idea why I did that. I'm not seeing what the point of that exchange. The point of that exchange was probably to push on d3 thing, but that pawn is not supported by anything else. With some pawn pushes, I thought about some pawn in the game, but that's it's a bit weird now that I look at it. I just go back with the bishop. I maybe have gone forward, but I feel that I would have gotten kind of stuck there. He takes on a7. Here I just quickly put my rook on the a file, looking to take that bishop. He moves in with his queen, and I just take with the rook on a3. And here my opponent just first he pushes his h-pawn to h3, and here I take with the rook 3 pawn there, which now, having seen the review of the game, the computer wanted me to play f5, and it will want me to play f5 in another move further down the line, but in the game when I played, I did not see any f. That just did not cross my mind. Here my opponent goes to g4, I believe, with his bishop, and here I had to play f5 once again, which I did not see at all, just at all. Did not see that move. Look down, how long did I take this? Here I just took this pawn. I spent about like 20 minutes on this move, which is awful. Which just hangs, it just hangs a bishop there. It's gonna hang a rook as well. I'm gonna lose a lot of material. Just in that move, I lose a lot of material. I should have played this. Just taking there, forking bishop and a knight. My opponent did have something like bishop to h5, targeting this, but it's just winning. Just winning for him. Might lose that. But he can take that. He's threatening that. There's a lot of things here. But yeah, the best move here would have been f5, which I did not play, unfortunately. Here my opponent just takes, and here I played. I think I played d3, looking to go something like this. I'm not sure now about it. He takes the rook, just a free rook. Unfortunately, gone here. Probably a better move somewhere. Takes. I just defend the king with the bishop. Takes, and I just lost a bunch of materials because of that one blunder. Taking, which is unfortunate. I push forward, targeting that rook. My opponent just easily puts that rook on the. I take, he takes, and I push forward, trying to kick out the queen. But honestly, this is really not effective. He just goes here, I believe, gives me a check. Gives me a check, plus he gets a free rook there, which he doesn't see in game in the first place, and I don't think I saw it either, because I, instead of playing something like rook to a8, protecting that line, I just play bishop here. The rook here, I have no idea what I'm doing here, to be honest. He gives me a check there, I protect with the bishop, and checkmate. But yeah, that was those are the 3 games that I wanted to show you, so that we can look at them and see more or less what how I play and what I have to improve and all that. Somehow I did get to around 900 rating here on chess.com, which I honestly don't think that I am anywhere close to that. I think I've just been lucky with the people that I've played against. um, because let's just go over a couple of things that I've thought about that I need to. The first thing is just I need to learn a couple of openings with white. With white, I'm comfortable with the Ruy Lopez, but I need a couple more. I need to extend my opening openings catalog. Go for that word since the other one is a little bit difficult for me to say. So yeah, I have to to extend it. I need to learn a couple of openings, both with white and with black. I can show you here how many games I played. I played 40 games in the last week. I won 25 of them, lost 14, and drew 1. And I play well with white, 15 wins to 5 losses, but I play badly with black, 10, 50-50 basically, because I just don't know black opening. I know a little bit of the Caracan, the Scandinavian, but not enough to get a good position out of so I need to learn a couple of new openings, see a couple of variations. I think I'm going to learn about learn 3 openings of white and black. Learn a couple of variations of both of those 3 openings. For white, I'm thinking about just extending my knowledge of the Lopez. I'm thinking about the Italian game, and I'm thinking about the London. Thinking about those 3 openings to learn and know a little bit more about. And for black, I think the Caracal and the Sicilian, a couple of Sicilian variations, maybe just the Scandinavians. I think those are the 6 openings that I'm thinking about learning and moving on. So yeah, another thing I think I need to improve on is end game tactics and just checkmates. I feel like I don't have enough knowledge on a couple of games that I've played. I've ended up not managing to get an easy checkmate because I just didn't know how to get it. So I think I need to do that, and I think I just need to practice more puzzles. Try to get a couple in. Feel like I have a good sense of the board. Just then, the developing of pieces, the taking of control of the center. But my mid game, late game, and like basically the 3 phases of the game are quite lacking. I feel like I'm good in the openings for the most part, or reasonably good at them for my level, for what I know about chess. But my middle game and late game are just not. I think I need quite a lot of improvement on that. So yeah, that's basically what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about these things, and that's what I'm going to try to improve next week's, and see how I'll go with that, and see how much I improve. And then next week another video, and we'll go over how it went, what I learned, what I didn't learn, and stuff like that. Yeah, this was the first video on this journey to 2000 ELO. Let's see if I can get there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.